Hello, and welcome everyone to another episode of The Dark Place. I'm your host, Adam, and today we delve into a chilling tale that has captivated the nation and kept them on edge. The story of Tylar Witt and Stephen Boston Cover. But before we begin, please go to all of our social media pages, that is Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, The Other People's Show. The numbers are growing, and it all is due to you all, so thank you very much. Our story begins in 2009. Stephen Boston Cover, a seemingly ordinary young man, found himself at the center of a dark and twisted saga that would shock the community and leave a lasting impact. Stephen Culver's life took a sinister turn when he became romantically involved with Tylar Witt, a troubled teenager with a troubled past. Their relationship would soon spiral into a web of deceit, manipulation, and ultimately murder. The murder of Tylar Witt's mother, Joanne Witt. Now, Joanne disapproved of her daughter's relationship with the older Stephen Culver. As tensions rose, the situation took a horrifying turn, and on that fateful night, a heinous crime was committed that would send shockwaves through the quiet suburban neighborhood. The details of the crime are disturbing, but they provide a glimpse into the dark minds of those involved. The case is particularly intriguing because it involves elements of forbidden love, parental disapproval, and the cold-blooded act that followed. Stephen Culver, or Tylar Witt's actions, and the investigation that followed shed light on the complexities of human relationships, how far they'll go, and the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface. As the investigation unfolded, detectives pieced together the puzzle of Stephen Culver and Tylar Witt's life, revealing a troubled past and a series of questionable choices that led to that ominous night. The horrific true story begins in December of 2008, when Joanne's daughter Tyler met Stephen at a local coffee shop soon after she started 9th grade and he started college. Already a 14-year-old and a 19-year-old. The single mom was concerned about the age gap, was initially told that their bond was just a friendship, and that Stephen was gay. So here you've got Tyler and Stephen. They meet at a coffee shop. Now, Tyler is from not really a broken home, but a single-parent home, and her mother was wealthy, and Tyler had all the finer things in life. But Tyler was a brat, and Tyler was also very manipulative of things she did to her mother. She meets this boy, Stephen. Stephen's father is about to move away. He likes Tyler, so he convinces, Tyler, or they concoct the idea together that, hey, maybe, you can live with us and we'll just tell my mother that you're gay so she'll never suspect anything. So Joanne buys this story. Tyler is paying $500 a month to live in the house and rent a room in the family home. Like I said a moment ago, she thought that the older boy could help her daughter do homework and that she was going to put the extra income toward the mortgage. But the single mom later learned that the relationship between Tyler and Stephen had become sexual after walking in on the young couple in a compromising position. The mother didn't know that the pair had begun dabbling in drugs, including marijuana, cocaine, and ecstasy, according to reports. This situation proved to be too much for Joanne. So the mother had walked in on Stephen and Tyler Stephen come to the bedroom door wearing underwear only, and then she barged in and saw her daughter, who was covered up. She wanted Stephen out, wanted nothing to do with him, and ceased contact with the daughter. She said, if you leave at this particular point, charges will not be filed. But it didn't stop. She had found Tyler's diary. It was filled with very explicit writings of different sexual positions as proof of the encounter with Stephen. She wanted Stephen away from her daughter, but Tyler and Stephen couldn't stand the thought of not being together, and that's when the plotting began. Tyler said that she was angry at her mother and devastated at the thought that her boyfriend may soon be sent to prison, which was when the pair decided to take action. This sordid relationship was still ongoing when Joanne's own parents got a call from her boss to ask about her whereabouts after she failed to show up for work. The call immediately set off alarm bells for the retired couple, and Joanne's boss revealed that he had already called the sheriffs to request a welfare check because it was very much out of character for Joanne not to just show up because she was a dedicated employee. Deputies were then to gain entry on the side of the house. They made their way up the stairs to the master bedroom. They immediately discovered a female laying partially on a bed. She had been covered with a blanket, but there was no movement. There was a lot of blood. It came to be revealed that Joanne had been stabbed at least 20 times with what police believed was a 10-inch long chef's knife, but the weapon has never been recovered. Someone at the scene described the attack as very, very violent. It was very, very gruesome, and there was a wound that almost decapitated Joanne Witt. Tyler herself was nowhere to be found in the house, and authorities soon realized that she had fled with Stephen, sparking a manhunt. The couple had planned to kill themselves with rat poison on their 4-month anniversary in the belief that Stephen would be going to prison, and had both prepared incriminating suicide notes. They considered themselves to be a doomed Romeo and Juliet, doomed lovers who died for their love, but in their initial attempt had left Tyler with nothing but a stomach ache. But in their initial attempt, it had left Tyler with nothing more than a stomach ache after the rat poison. Before attempting the plan once again, the teens were discovered by local authorities 100 miles after stopping to change their clothes behind a dumpster at a mall. So much for Romeo and Juliet. The pair eventually turned on each other during separate interrogations, and the case later went to trial. Stephen, who at one point had described to friends how he stabbed his mother's girlfriend with a butcher knife, changed his story. He claimed Joanne was already dead when he arrived at the home and claimed Tyler was the one who stabbed her to death. Tyler's own story is that she had fallen to the floor before entering her mother's room, sat with her hands over her ears as Stephen slaughtered her mother. The jury happened to reject Stephen's defense claims, and Tyler agreed to testify against him in a court of law. In 2011, as a result of her testimony, the then 16-year-old was convicted of second-degree murder and received a reduced sentence, 15 years to life in prison. Now, she's actually been released, I think, as of 2023. Stephen, then 21, was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. As we conclude today's episode of The Dark Place, the story in Case of Tylar Witt, it serves as a somber reminder of the vulnerability of youth and the profound impact of our choices. Join us next week as we uncover another gripping tale that lurks in the shadow of society. I'm Adam with The Dark Place. Have a good night.